interrupt your TV show already in progress. This is Hannah Goldman with Orrstown News. We are receiving reports of an incident. There may have been an assailant.
All of a sudden, this crazy guy came in. My virgin eyes have never seen anything so shocking and so scary in my entire life.
Henry Lee Palmer's dead.
Remember last time?
And he starts slashing and slashing.
He sank to the bottom of a lake and drowned.
It's Carney! He's back!
Who's wearing a goddamn clown mask?
Honestly, I don't think I could ever go to a fraternity party again.
This guy's dead set on finishing Henry Lee's business.
No, it's personal. It's definitely about me.
Yes, but why?
That's what we need to figure out.
You know what? I don't want to go to some Massacre Academy.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Dolls of Horror podcast, the spot to feed your tormented addiction. I'm Summer.
And I'm Jamie.
And tonight we have with us very special guests, the 3 stars of the upcoming film Massacre Academy, Miss Christina Krakowski, Sierra Mitchell, and Jess Uhler. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
So since this is going to be released in both video on YouTube and audio only formats, I'm going to have you guys introduce yourself and your character name so our audio only listeners can kind of hear your voice and who's talking. So go for Christina.
I'm Christina Krakowski, and I play Becca Engel.
Hi, I'm Sierra Mitchell, and I play Maggie McNeil.
I am Jess Uhler, and I play Chris McNeil.
All right.
Awesome. So happy to have you, ladies. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, we are so excited. When your director reached out to me and sent me the trailer and the press kit, I was like, this looks freaking awesome.
Yeah. And then she sent it to me, and I was like, I want to see it right now.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your characters. We'll start with Christina.
So my character, her name is Becca, and she is a college student. She's part of a sorority, but she doesn't really fit in with like the other sorority girls. You know, her closest friends are definitely Maggie and Chris. She definitely gets kind of tormented a little bit throughout the film as well by these, you know, sorority girls and frat boys. But she has a very interesting journey to her that I'm excited for everybody to see.
Awesome. How about you, Sierra?
So my character is Maggie, and she's like the total badass that you want to see. She's also a college student. She actually is like a film student. So she does like film, and she makes like little short films and movies. And she has a really big interest in Becca, and she like really likes Becca a lot. And she looks up to her older sister a lot as well. So she really takes pride in like everything that her older sister does. So yeah.
And Jess, are you the older sister?
I am. You wouldn't think so because Sierra is so much taller than I am.
I can relate in real life.
So when the film starts, it is actually 2 years after the first incident at Orrstown. So Chris was the, I guess, star softball pitcher. Another thing I'm not. She was one of the few survivors from that first attack. So it's her dealing with the emotional trauma, also her trying to look after Maggie because, you know, their parents did not survive the first attack. So it's a great story for me about dealing with trauma and trying to move on. And then also she really wants what's best for Maggie. She loves Becca. But it's all 3 of us trying to work through all of the little nuances. And I think what's cool is you get to see in this film the aftermath of what happens. And you really don't see a lot of the times like what happens to the characters and the trauma they have to work through.
Right.
So it's really awesome for all of us to work through that together.
Yeah, it's always like, great, they got away. Now what? Yeah.
Yes.
The characters are always like bound to be fucked up. Right?
Yeah.
That's one thing that I really loved about Halloween H2O. Like, I know that movie gets a lot of hate, But I thought how she played that trauma and her alcoholism, and okay, that's how she dealt with it, was very realistic. And then the newest Halloween, I'm like, okay, this is also a good version. But you don't really see that.
No. And out of curiosity, are you ladies horror fans?
Yes.
Yeah. What are some of your favorites?
I know for me, I love the original Halloween 1978. It's one of my favorites to watch, especially around Halloween, as well as I love Silence of the Lambs.
Nice.
Oh, that's a good one.
Solid.
Yeah.
My favorite has always been The Conjuring. I love The Conjuring series, like Annabelle, The Nun, like all those together. I love it so much. Same thing with Insidious. Love it.
Yep.
Love all of it.
Those are great.
Awesome.
So I started on Halloween 2 when I was 3. My dad he had it on TV. My mom was not happy. So the original Halloween movies, but I really love The Exorcist because of how real it feels. Everything just, I love it. I love getting creeped out. But yeah. That's my
Those are all great.
They are all great. Well, I mean, I started my horror journey when I was real young, like Jess. Not that young, though, when I was 8 years old. So, yeah, it was my first movie. I tell the story all the time. It was Suspiria. And I was hooked. Like ballet and witches. Yes.
Sign me up.
You know? And Jamie, your first one was...
I mean, I started off on like the little stuff, so like Goosebumps and all of those kind of things, Gremlins. But I saw the birds when I was super young. That freaked me out because birds are everywhere. And then when I was a teenager, I like really delved into scary movies more.
Yeah. So good. We're all horror lovers here.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, did you guys get to work a lot with Dave Sheridan and Felissa Rose?
Christina's the only one that was able to be on.
I had the privilege of I wasn't in the scenes with them, but I was working behind the scenes that day. So I did have the privilege to meet them, and they're both really amazing people. They're great-hearted people and very talented and professional.
Oh, for sure. I just did a movie 2 years ago. It's not out yet with Felissa. And it was amazing because I've known her for like 4 years on a personal level. But to see her, I just sat back and I watched her process. And she didn't even get the script until day of filming. And so she just took it in the corner. She crouched down on the ground and studied it for 5 minutes. So it was good to go. I said, how do you do that? She's amazing.
Yeah.
I was going to meet her this past weekend. We had Steel City Con
out
here.
Yeah.
But she had flight issues. Yep. So I commented on her Instagram. I was like, I'm so sorry you couldn't make it. I was going to come introduce myself, but, eventually, hopefully, get to meet her and Dave.
For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. They do a lot of Days of the Dead conventions. You should try to make one of those. Because
we go to those too. So
they're always a fun time. And of course, we get to work them now. And, it's the funnest part is... many fun parts, but we get to do a little segment on our show now called Con Talk, where we can talk about all the upcoming guests and everyone we're excited for, and it's so great. And then when it actually happens, it's like, I try not to fangirl too hard. Oh, yes. So Massacre Academy looks great. The effects look spectacular.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we're a big fan of practical effects over here. So how was it working with the effects? Anybody?
I loved it. I loved it so much. Actually, our special effects it's done by a very talented lady named Miranda Chapman. It was so cool because, with scary movies, you never know what you're going to get, practical effects or CGI. And just being able to see it visually in front of us, like, it really made all the difference. And it's just so cool. Like,
yeah.
Well, this was actually my first movie that I've ever done. So being able to, like, actually be there in real life instead of, like, watching it on a screen and, like, actually seeing, like, a lot of, like, practical effects was so cool. And I was just like, even if I didn't do like any of myself, like if other people were doing it and I was watching, I was like, this is so awesome. I'm just in this. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a normal weekend for me unless I'm covered in some kind of gunk. So I work at a house. I work at Scare House out here. So I was like, yeah, bring it on. I think Mark was like, are you okay with fake blood at one point? And I'm like, yeah.
Who isn't?
That's awesome.
Jess, you have our dream job.
I know.
Scaring people for money. Oh,
that is
What a
totally the
dream.
dream.
Isn't that the American dream?
It really is.
Truly.
Well, I'd love to hear a little bit about, how all of you kind of got involved with this film.
So for me, I had done a film competition out here. It was my first time doing any kind of like acting thing. And I met the director, Mark Cantu, there. And a few months later, he invited me to an audition for Massacre Academy. So I, sent in a self-tape and then went to the callback where I actually got to read with Sierra, who was already cast at the time. So that's how I kind of got involved with that. Was I met him through a different project and just kind of worked out.
That's awesome.
Mine's actually kind of weird. So I only did musical theater. I just graduated high school, so like
my girl.
I love musical theater. I was doing. I just finished my show Into the Woods, and so I played the witch.
Nice.
So much. It was amazing. But anyway, so I just got done with actually my final show, and I got home and I was like crying and it was gross, and I get a DM on Facebook from Mark, and at the time I was like doing like backstage stuff and like things I found on Facebook, and I was just like, maybe this is a scam, maybe I shouldn't answer, because he texted me, was like, do you have an actor's reel? And I was like, no. I have like stuff I've done for musical theater. Do you want to see that? And he was just like, okay, well, like let's meet up and stuff. And I was like, okay, let's meet up. Yeah. And so I saw that one of his friend like mutuals was Jess, and I knew Jess because we did Rocky Horror together. And I was like, all right, Jess, so let's like, is this person real? Like, should I meet up with him? And she's like, yeah, Mark's real. Like, yeah, he's a really cool guy. And I was like, all right, cool. And then me and Mark ended up meeting up at Eden Park. And we like talked, and he told me like all about the movie, and I was like, this is the most sickest thing I've ever heard. Can I please be a part of it? Can I please audition? So I ended up auditioning, and then like a couple days later in a Sheetz parking lot, I got the text message, and he was like, oh, hey, you're going to be Maggie. And I was like, okay, yay. Awesome. Like, I'm so excited now. So, yeah, I'm like really grateful that I did like Rocky Horror with Jess, because I was like, if I would have said no to this, I don't know where I would be right now. Like, this is the most coolest thing I've ever done. So,
oh, that's so amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, I remember that message. You're like, is this guy okay? So I met Mark's wife, Liz, first on another short film. It's called The Torture Tapes. And she said to me, she's like, I'm going to tell my husband about you. We would like to have you. And so I met up with them again there's a 48-hour film festival. God, like 2019 and all that seems like 50 years ago.
I know.
Gosh.
So we met up again, and then we just kind of started talking, and he was like, here, would you be interested? I was like, yeah, let me audition. I didn't even think about Chris at all. I liked Maggie's character, and then he gave me like Chris's stuff to read, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. A little nerve-wracking because I was like, oh, this is a lot, but I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I met Liz. I am grateful that I was in Rocky Horror with Sierra, because that really helped with the chemistry too, because we knew each other. There was supposed to be sisters. I had already met Christina for a calendar shoot. She was Miss January in this horror calendar.
Yes.
She was this sick, like looking ice queen. It was great.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so cool that we all kind of came together and we all knew each other, and that was really cool. So.
That's amazing. I had a similar situation, Sierra, with the movie I did with Alyssa. I actually texted her, and I'm like, is this guy for real? because
Buddy system.
You never know. You never know.
Right, because he's like, Felicia's in it, and I'm like, okay. Well, first of all, what isn't she in? But I'm like, okay, texting, like, is this legit? You know, because he wants me to go to Dallas. You know, like, and my husband's was even like, you're going to go to Dallas and get kidnapped. But like,
pretty much what my mom said. That's
right.
Really what my mom said.
Yes, you know, the people who love us are cautious, just like we are. But I'm like, no, Felicity says he's cool, so he's cool. I trust her. So, but no, I definitely get Sierra's reaction for sure, because I had a similar reaction. It's like, is this for real? That is the coolest, and it's really cool to hear about your musical theater stuff, because Jamie and I are hugely passionate about musical theater.
So am I. Oh my God.
Christina, do you like musicals too?
I do. I just can't really dance. So I was kind of the person in the ensemble by the wings on stage in high school musicals, but I love watching them and I love singing the songs and stuff. So
I'm not a very good singer anymore. I used to be, not so much now.
Same.
So, but I can dance. So I'm best in the chorus, where I just blend in with everybody else.
I mean, I can dance in my mind. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I can dance. So we'd also love, since you guys like have such great chemistry and you already had that, you know, before you went into the film a little bit, like, tell us about what shooting was like. How long did shooting take, and just what were some of your favorite like memories?
I think we shot, so originally the schedule was 21 days. We came in under that at 19 days, I believe. So it was a pretty quick shoot. You know, we would go to set, we'd all go through like our costumes and our makeup and whatever we're doing for that day. And it was so much fun. Again, like, I knew Jess a little bit going into it. I didn't know Sierra at all, but like, we met through, you know, all these pre-events we had leading up to filming, and we just all hit it off so nice. Like, everybody on set really felt like family to me. And like, it was just, you know, sometimes you have jobs like acting jobs and they feel like work, you know, they're a little stressful, they could be crazy, but like, not on this set. This set was like awesome. It was so cool to work and be a part of.
That's
and
beautiful.
Yeah. And I guess like some of my favorite memories were just like, without giving any too much away, there was some cool, like some stunt work and some cool, like, high energy days where we were just running around like crazy, and you know, the girls know exactly what I'm talking about. And that was just always so fun.
Awesome.
Being on set was super cool because I've never been on set before. So I like it's a little embarrassing, but I did like a little vlog and I vlogged my entire experience on Massacre Academy, because
not embarrassing at all.
No, I want to see it.
Yeah.
It was, I'm like editing it right now because it's like amazing. But
well, when you're done, share it with us and we'll share it on our page.
I definitely will. I want to show it to Mark and be like, hey, like, sneak this into like the DVD. But yeah, so like you can tell like in the videos that I made, like I was just like, it was like really down low for days that we didn't film. And then when it was a filming day, it was like energy up, excitement up. It was so exciting, so cool. And being on set was like my dream. Like, it was a dream come true. Like, we got there and everyone was just like chilling out. Everyone's like, yeah, we're gonna like film today. And I was like, oh my God, what are we filming? Like, what are we gonna do today? Like, this is really exciting. Because like, let's do it now. Like, why are we setting up? Let's do it now. I think one of my favorite memories though was this had nothing to do with like blood or gore or anything. I found a filter on Snapchat and it was a bloody nose filter. For like the next 20-25 minutes, I would just continue saying like bloody nose. Everybody was getting so annoyed. So now it's a thing to say bloody nose in a British accent.
That's so fun.
I didn't mention that. The bloody nose, right?
Bloody nose.
It was a very emotional scene for me, and I come out, and Sarah has her phone in her shoe, and she's recording like videos, and I'm just like, what is happening? It was bloody nose. But yeah, just that whole vibe on set of like, I don't think I've ever been as comfortable with a cast as quickly. Because I know some of the cast, besides Christina and Sierra. I did the Boonies with Rick. And so he was my dad in the last one, and then he's like my surrogate father in this one. So and then Ashley Rain, who came in as the therapist, Dr. Shane, immediately she was in with our goofy little group. It was so fun that even though we were doing some serious things, and we would turn it on immediately when the camera started rolling, you could just kind of, goof off after and in between. Yeah. You kind of decompress with these people and you're just comfortable around your cast. And I think that really comes through with how we all interact with each other. But yeah. Also the stunts and the fight scenes I will do any day. So yeah.
Were there like a whole lot of stunts that everybody got to do? Or was it just certain people that got to stunt?
There's some, without giving anything away. I would say girl power.
Yeah?
That's what I like to hear.
Amazing. So, like, what was the biggest challenge in this film?
That's a really good question. I would say the biggest challenge for me personally was just, I don't know, just like wanting to execute it well and wanting to like bring forward the best I could. Because like Sierra, this was my first movie as well. Like first full featured film. And it was just kind of wanting to set the bar well and to be able to perform and keep up with the other cast and crew, especially people who had more experience than me, like not wanting to drag anybody down, as well as, I don't know, just like the pacing was quick, but it was good. It was like I would have like my adrenaline would go the entire shoot, and then once I got home I wouldn't even like make it to my bed. I would just fall on the floor, and I'm like, this is where I am now. This is where I'm sleeping for the next 24 hours. I'll be back at set at 8 a.m. Just nobody bother me. But honestly, there really wasn't too much difficulty with this project. Like that was the greatest thing about it, was like Jess said, we were all so comfortable with each other so quickly. We all got along smoothly. Like the days went so smoothly. It was great.
Nice.
Honestly, everything Christina said is true. Like the challenge, like everything she said was true. But I think my personal challenge at first was trying to connect with my character because I mean, like I can relate to Maggie now because of all the character development I did. But like when I first got the script and I first was reading it, I was like, my previous experience was like in musical theater, I played like funny characters. I played like people that are like comedic and characters that do that. And Maggie was like a real normal like role. Like she was not like a character where she's gonna put on a fancy outfit and do a number. Like she was like a real raw person that you had to like actually connect to. And that took me a while to figure out what I was gonna do with her because I was not used to it. So it took a lot of character development, but in the end, like I can connect to Maggie more than any of the other characters I've ever played. So yeah.
I would say it's not anything super deep. There's one day on set, there's a workout montage. Is not there. And Jen, who's playing my coach, she's like, come on, let's go. And I'm like, I haven't run suicide since high school. This hurts. So if you see that, that's real. That's real. The struggle bus came. I got on.
You drove it.
I drove it. Yeah. I was driving the struggle bus. That was, I mean, and it's funny because like fight scenes and like when like we're running around and stuff, we're in the moment. That doesn't bother me. I don't feel it. But you put me on like a football field and you're like, hey, run back and forth, run up those stairs. I suck.
Well, it's regimented.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the hardest challenge for me, I would say.
That's a very good point though. Like I would probably be in the same boat. I don't know about Jamie.
I would definitely be in the same boat. I like fall down when I'm just like walking. So
I fall upstairs. Like when I'm walking, I just fall up. It was really funny. I was working out the other day because I'm trying to work out more, and I was FaceTiming with my friend Elena because she keeps me going. She's like, "Keep going, keep going." I said, "I hate this. I can't believe there are people who actually do this for fun." Like, no, kill me now. So I get it, Jess. I get it.
Yes, definitely. So did you ladies do any kind of like special preparation to get ready for shooting at all? Like did you know that you were going to be doing stunts? How'd you kind of prepare for this?
For me, I definitely hit the gym a little bit just to walk on the treadmill because I was just not prepared for, we run up a lot of steps and down a lot of steps in this movie.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't prepared for that. It was like I kind of hit the gym kind of late. It was after the first day that we shot because my first day on set, again, without giving too much away, was definitely, we didn't film it in order of the movie. So it was like the middle of the film. When I got there, I was like, oh, what are we doing? And I'm like, oh, everything. We're doing everything today. And I went home and I'm like, wow, I really need to learn how to like do more exercise. That's what I learned today. So I would go to the gym a little bit more. I definitely watched like a lot of horror films, especially with strong female, leads and stuff like that to get inspired. So that was a little bit of my preparation for this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a lot of 80s films, like slasher stuff, like along the lines of that, just because I wasn't really familiar with 80s slasher. Like I watched a few, but like I need to like have a good old deep dive into the 80s slasher genre to like understand it fully. Because my type of horror is like psychological more than like I'm gonna kill you.
You like the supernatural stuff too.
Yeah, I like ghosts and stuff like that. Like this was different. This was newer for me. And also with like Maggie as well, like I said before, like I needed to do like stuff about like being able to internalize her. So that was like kind of just preparation, was just being able to just sit there and read the script and like analyze every single line that I had and make sure that I was really doing everything to my best ability.
I did a lot of emotional prepping, I think. Obviously, I should have done more cardio. So, I mean, especially we filmed in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
So you're already feeling a certain type of way with everything going on. And there were certain days, like in the middle of the movie, there is a big scene where my character does not want to be at this big party. So I was really trying to tap into this state of anxiety that I try to keep away most of the time. But when you start to go back out after being home for so long, it's like you're anxious around people again. So I was really trying to bring that out and bring it to Chris's like emotional journey. So like I like to draw on stuff that I've been through in my life. It was draining. Like, I think that is so much more draining than physical stuff sometimes. But it was really just like mentally preparing myself to tap into those places and then being like, okay, let it go. So it was mental preparation, doing it, and then rest. I knew I had like kind of a plan in my head for that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. So did you guys film it like where you guys live on the East Coast, or did you have to travel for this, or?
Yeah, we filmed it over here on the East Coast. We filmed it right here in Pittsburgh area.
Great. So you didn't have to travel too far, which is good.
No, it wasn't too far at all.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I had something else I wanted to ask you on that, but I completely forgot. Carry on.
Sarah and I, we lived like 10 minutes away. It was the closest to set I've probably ever gone.
Oh, that's great.
15-minute drive.
Oh, nice.
That's
That
amazing. That's not even my commute to work every day.
Right. Well, I'd also love to know, like, so I'd love to know, like, what is like a dream character for each of you to play in another project?
Whether it's on stage or in film or whatever. I see some gears turning.
And it doesn't have to be a specific person.
No.
Just, a comedic, role or a detective or.
Yeah. I don't know. I always dug like the post-apocalyptic kind of stuff. Like I love the shows like Stranger Things and The Walking Dead. So I think that would be a really cool like role to play, like some kind of dystopian or post-apocalyptic kind of thing. Or like I said, I love the Silence of the Lambs. So like I always identified with like Clarice. So I think it would be cool to play like a really badass detective girl or something like that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to theater route. My dream role is Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. It's always been, always will be. I want to play her so bad. Well, it was the witch from Into the Woods, but I actually got to play her.
But now you're done. You got that.
But now Audrey from Little Shop and Columbia from Rocky Horror. Those are my two biggest dream roles I will ever have.
So. Such awesome characters. I love them.
I love them.
I get why you want to play them. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Batgirl.
Yes.
You knew I was going to say it. They all knew. Stephanie Brown, Batgirl, not Barbara Gordon. Much respect to Barbara, but Stephanie Brown has not been explored. I have, obviously, it's behind me. I have a tattoo. It's my life. So I would really, really, really love to play her, or like some type of superhero or villain thing. I really wanted to get into motion capture for video games. I look at like The Last of Us and how it was a film inside of a video game. Like the storyline for that, it changed everything for me. And I watched how they shot it. Even Resident Evil, the new Resident Evil, I was watching the motion capture stuff for that, and I was like, I want to do that. Like, just like push myself to do out of the box things.
Yeah,
totally.
Oh my God, that's amazing, guys. What has been the favorite role that you've ever played, like in theater? Or obviously, two of you guys said this was your first movie, but in anything you've ever done, what was your favorite role ever? I mean, I think you said it already. Sierra was the witch. If it's not for I'd say aside from this movie that you just did, because obviously you're supposed to say, of course, this movie, which is probably true because it sounds like an amazing movie. But aside from this movie, what's your favorite role you've ever played?
For me, it's a role I haven't gotten to play yet. It's coming up, and it's my next project. I'm excited for. So it is another movie called Wolf Hollow, and I get to play this character named Alex, and I can't say too much about her yet because it's new, but she is like a real badass chick, and I'm like really excited to really dive into her and figure her out and just bring her to life. So that's my answer for that.
Oh, that's terrific.
Nice.
Well, my favorite role was the witch that I've ever played. Yeah. I also just finished my high school show, which was The Drowsy Chaperone, and I played Kitty. And I also loved playing Kitty. Like, I could go on and on about how much I love playing Kitty. She's so much like me, but like the funnier side of me. Like, I'm normal right now, but like when you see me with like more energy, like I'm Kitty too. So like just being on stage was like the best thing, especially since it was my senior year. So like being able to do that as well as play like another one of my dream roles, but not dream, just like a little bit of a dream, was totally cool. So the witch and Kitty from Drowsy Chaperone.
I love The Drowsy Chaperone. I used to sing those songs to myself all the time. They're so good.
They are. They're amazing.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I can't say Chris. That's off the table.
Yeah.
I was going to say Columbia because I was Columbia, but I'll go with another redhead. I was Ginny Weasley in a Harry Potter musical my senior year of college.
Fun.
That was so fun. I really like being Ginny because I was a senior in high school when that came out on YouTube, old YouTube, way back when it was fuzzy quality. And like you would sit and you'd watch the whole show, and it was really fun because I co-directed it with a girl too. But it was just, I got to be like comedic and have comedic timing and like kind of make Ginny my own. You know, I still did the whole Harry Potter, like the same voice.
Yeah.
It was easy. I was very relaxed in that role. I'm gonna go with Ginny.
Yeah.
Fun. Very fun.
I want to know. I really want to know. When does this movie come out? It's soon, right?
Massacre Academy, yeah. It comes out July 31st is our red carpet premiere. So that will be like, the world premiere showing of it. And I think it'll probably have a few screenings, I would think. As well as I know it'll end up on DVD and it will be on some streaming platforms, but we don't have that information quite yet. But it's very exciting because it is coming up here very soon.
I know. That's like a month and a half away.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. We got to get our hands on a DVD. We got to get in touch with Mark and see how we can buy one.
I know. It just looks so much fun. It really definitely has that like 80s slasher feel.
Yeah.
For fun, do you guys have any tips for, kind of like surviving in a horror movie?
Don't trip.
Good advice.
Yeah, I would just say surviving a horror movie is just be smart. Basically, like try to make smart decisions and good decisions. I mean, obviously, like we make fun of the characters in horror movies, like, oh, don't go in there, and oh, you tripped. But like when you're under pressure like that, I feel like all of us would make these dumb decisions. But I guess just think rationally as rationally as possible.
We just said it. We trip on an everyday situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be the first to fall, honestly.
Same.
Yeah, pretty much what Christina said. Like, don't make dumb decisions because I mean, I don't want to spoil the movie too much, but like a lot of this movie is like
just in general.
Yeah, it's like very good. Like you're not like screaming at the TV a lot. So like you're like it's like a lot of good decisions. So like in other horror movies where you're like the girl runs down the wrong side of the hallway where the monster is, you're like, why'd you do that? You know that's not what you're supposed to do. Like that. But like I mean, don't make dumb decisions because that stuff will get you killed. So yeah.
Start preparing now. Take self-defense classes. Always use your exits. I think the quickest and the closest available weapon and how you can make it a weapon. And it depends too. Is it somebody who's fast? Is it somebody who's slow? It's just watch a whole bunch of horror movies, learn from what they did, and don't do that.
Don't do that. Ladies, we just recorded for I Know What You Did Last Summer. And we were talking about how, stranger tells her to get on his boat. She's like, okay. And I'm like, no, stranger danger. Don't do it. No, don't make dumb decisions, right?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so I have to be honest with you guys. I watched a lot of trailers, and half the time I'm like, this looks really dumb, and this looks really stupid and really poorly made, right? I watched this trailer, and I was blown away.
Oh,
It seriously looks so good.
This looks like it's a high-budget movie. Like this does not look like a micro-budget indie film. This looks like there was a lot of money in a studio behind this. So, I mean, just from the trailer alone, I was super impressed. Because like I said, I watch a lot of trailers and I'm just like, kind of looks crappy. So I was so excited when Mark sent me the trailer. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll watch it, right? I'm always up to watching anything once. And I'm like, well, this actually looks great. So I sent it to Jamie right away, and she's like, oh my God, that does look great.
Yeah, it really does look amazing. And like, what's the best way for us and our listeners to kind of keep up with what you three are up to and keep up with like the movie itself?
Absolutely.
For the movie itself, there is a Facebook page and an Instagram, just Massacre Academy. I'm sure you can just find, a quick search. We'll bring you there. And obviously the trailer's on YouTube. For me personally, my Instagram is just at Christina Krakowski, and you can see all my shenanigans on there, basically.
Awesome.
You're a TikTok star.
TikTok too, yes. TikTok as well.
I'm just humble over here. We need to hear about the TikTok stardom.
Yeah, what's your TikTok handle, first of all?
My TikTok handle is the same as my name. It's just at Christina Krakowski. And I do a lot of acting tips and stuff like that too, so I appeal to, that side of TikTok for the actors and the performers. And I started doing that about a month ago. So, if you guys are into TikTok, feel free to check that
I'm
out.
not into making them. I am into watching them. So definitely go check that out.
Awesome.
For me, I usually am on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok all the time. So my Facebook is just Sierra Mitchell, and then my Instagram is @OKSierra, and then my TikTok is simply Sierra1. But I don't really post acting on there. I'm more of a cosplayer on there, so I do like a bunch of like Danganronpa cosplays and like Total Drama Island. I just got in, so I do stuff on there like that, which is like kind of like acting, but when you're like dressed up and you're a completely different character than like a movie actor. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't look at my TikTok. It's all cats. Look at it.
Say no more. I love cats.
I'm 30. I don't know TikTok. Come on. So my Instagram is Ferris Bueller 55. It's like Ferris Bueller, but without the B. Everybody remember that. I am on Facebook as Jess Uhler too. And yes, everybody follow the Massacre Academy Facebook page and the Instagram just to keep up with announcements and, when we're going to have our premieres and our different screenings and stuff. So follow.
Awesome. So what is next for you guys? I mean, Christina already mentioned a project she has coming up. Do you other two ladies have anything that you're working on or about to work on, or what do you want to start working on next? Do you have goals immediately?
I don't know if I'm allowed to exactly say what I'm working on, but I do have 2 projects that are coming up.
Oh, so exciting.
They're in the works, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I have those 2 coming up. And then I also have a bunch of musical community theaters that I'm going to do musicals at during the summer and also in the fall. So that's awesome too.
Do you know what shows they're going to be?
You guys are going to scream because I'm going to scream, but it's Little Shop of Horrors in the fall. I didn't audition yet, but auditions are July 24th, I believe. So I'm going to go audition for, or is it the 26th, Jess?
26.
Are you gonna audition?
I probably can't because that's haunt season, and I also with work and haunt. I know. I only got to do Rocky Horror that year because the haunt was closed. Don't
Being
yell
a grown up
at me.
sucks.
Right.
Yeah, that's a Little Shop is in the fall, and then I have a few summer shows, like at like South Park Theater, and then there's one in not Apple Hill, that's close, the Theater Factory. So
Okay.
Very cool.
Super cool.
I am also going to be in Wolf Hollow with Christina, so I'm very excited. My character's name is Beth. She is not nice. I'm very excited. I can't wait.
How fun. Yeah, I kind of like playing a villain or like a mean girl.
Just pushing it. And so I have that. And then I have a couple things coming up at the end of summer. I believe they're planned. And then also the Boonies is out on streaming platforms. So we're still trying to like push for the Boonies and the Massacre Academy too. So it's going to be a lot of working, promoting, all that stuff.
Awesome. And Sierra, you mentioned that you like to cosplay on your TikTok. Do you ever cosplay at like conventions and stuff like that?
I have not yet, but me and my best friend, she does a lot of cosplay as well. But me and my best friend are thinking of going to cons. Like there was one this past weekend, but we actually ended up not going for some reason. But there's like a few that we have lined up, but I'm pretty sure I have to be vaccinated to go in now. So I only have my one shot, but I don't know if I'm allowed to go in yet. So
yeah.
I don't know though. I mean, I think on some of the websites it says that you have to be fully vaccinated to go in. So
I like that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Steel City. Well, it's coming back in August, so you can go to one in August. Johnny Bernthal's going to be there. I'm excited.
Well, Jamie and I are so ready for convention season because last year we had none.
Yeah.
And so we're like
ready.
Convention starved. We're going to be at Days of the Dead Indianapolis next month. And it'll be the first time Jamie and I are in the same room together ever in our lives.
Yeah. Wow. And we talk like every day.
We do. And we talk every day. We do this video thing, but we've never met in person.
Yeah.
Where we started off as Instagram friends.
Yeah. Yep. Thank
And
you, 2020. Like, really.
right? And so we're going to be roommates and it's going to be great. And it's just going to be because, we're both grown-ups and boring and adults. And, she's got a boyfriend. I'm married. So you don't really get like a lot of those girl time sleepover situations anymore.
We are going to watch Fear Street, though, the Fear Street movies in the hotel room.
We've already planned a watch party. She and I I told her, I said, you can't watch it without me. We have to watch that together. and we're going to watch another Massacre. She doesn't know this yet. This is news to her. But Jamie, I have on my iPad Billy, our friend Billy, was an actor in the 90s and early 2000s. And he did a movie called Fraternity Massacre on Hell Island.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It's fantastic. And I have it on my iPad and we're going to watch it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, especially since like we both know Billy. He's our friend, and I grew up watching Billy. He was like on CBS and all those other shows and stuff. So I grew up watching him. Then we became friends. It was very cool. But then I saw this movie and I'm like, I think I rented this way back in the day. And so I got it. I found a copy on Amazon Prime. I bought it. And yeah, so we're going to have a watch party of that. I wish this movie would be out in time, but next time we'll have a watch party for Massacre Academy. And we're very excited. Well, ladies, thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight and telling us all about your project. You have to come back.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys definitely have to come back. You got to come back to talk about your new movies that you're going to be doing. Maybe after Massacre Academy gets released and it's on DVD and things, we can talk more about that. Because then you can say more, of course.
Yeah. And we love talking to ladies who love horror. So if there's ever a movie that you really want to talk about, like let us know and hop on a podcast with us. We talk about fashion. We talk about our favorite hairstyles, favorite kills, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah. Our topics range where we have a format and we do favorite kill, cinematography, music. We have a fashion moment. We have an epic line, which is always my favorite section. We started doing best hair because we did so many 80s movies. We're like, we have to start talking about the hair more.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we can even do Massacre Academy too. Like we'll totally add this into our list of movies that we'll cover as well. But if you guys ever want to come on, talk maybe The Conjuring or Insidious or something like that, we would love to have each of you on individually as a guest, because our episodes do run long, especially with 3. So it'd be like you guys can each pick your own movie. So we would love to have it on. We love us some good females. So please do come back.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. All right. Well, that about wraps it up here. Jamie, are you done? Do you have anything
think so.
else?
Just again, like deepest thanks for joining us today. It was really fun getting to know you ladies, and it just makes me want to watch this movie even more. So
I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's going to be great. Yeah. So with that, I'm Summer.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Christina.
I'm Sierra.
I'm Jess. And we are here, and we talked about Massacre Academy.
Woo! It's going to be great. Coming out July 31st on select theaters, and hopefully not too long after that on DVD, right? Yay! Awesome. Thank you, ladies, so much. Oh, my God. This was great. We love you. And thank you so much.
Bye.